versus Extremely Slay. I feel like the draft is probably going to be coming out to being close to being the same thing here, Private. But the biggest thing on my mind is like, it seems like the red side has a little bit more, like a higher win rate than the blue side. Do you think that's a real factor into these games?
Well, when you're kind of looking at it at face value, you've got one pick as the first pick, and you're basically allowing the red side to counter you with 2 picks. I mean, with right now where the current meta is, there's just so many strong picks out there that even with 10 bans, you're still leaving open a lot on the table. So the first guy... It's odd to me because, you know, you would think first pick, they get the advantage because they get the prime. They get that #1 pick that they want. But on the other side, you're getting countered by 2 picks now that you've just given up. And is it worth it? Like I said, that last match, I want to say kind of a little bit of a little just a close your eyes and swing type of match here. As we start going on a little bit more, I think we're going to start settling down. And the problem is, that last match was so quick. It was so fast. Yeah. And that's what usually happens at this level is when you have 2 teams with that much like control and confidence just running in there, it's going to be on the first one that makes that major mistake, and then it's going to be a steamroll all the way to the base. And that's what we're kind of seeing here. So honestly, it's still anybody's game. We might still kind of go with the same draft, but I think we might twist things a bit. We need to wait for us if we're Extremely Slay. Wait for those power spikes to come in. Don't force Bruno into these 5-minute fights where he's just like, all right, I guess I just gotta throw these soccer balls at him, even though I don't have any of my items yet. Like, we just need to wait to maybe out rotate. If they're gonna try to get an engagement at bottom, all right, let's kind of back up. We're gonna go to top, try to push in those a little bit. We just need to wait for those power spikes to get something under control instead of just kind of flipping the coin or rolling the dice in just these skirmishes.
Yeah, and I think just to add on to what both of you said, with the first pick that you get the prime pick, it's that Matilda, you get that, and then you give away 2 soft counters on the other side. They're not hard counters, but it's soft counters, and you can see right now Mr. Death, his hands on the alpha once again. Wasn't so convincing in game #1, but guess what? They got the lucky charm. They got the gem, the one that gets the most wins in the entire MESL. It's that Hylos going to be slotted either in the EXP, either in the roam position. I know, G, you're shaking your head. You know who's going to win this game already, don't you?
Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if things change up a little bit here. As you can see, Birthright picking up the Aurora once again, which I think was one of, you know, the key playmakers for the side of Birthright last time. So one thing that I did see Extremely Slay pick up real fast, which I feel like we should point out, is they picked up the Alpha instantly. And I think that's because they were trying to anticipate that the Alpha Matilda combo was going to come out. Do you think that was right, Private?
Well, I mean, Alpha's just strong on his own. It could be because they thought that was going to come up, but Alpha's pretty much been one of the prime fighters out there. He scales very quickly. He is able to kind of pierce through a lot of that thick, tanky front lines there. But man, just to kind of you leave open. Especially, this is kind of the same problem that we had from the last game. You've got 2 frontliners that want to go straight down the middle, and then you've got an Aurora there that's going to be able to punish you for that. So, I mean, I want to say these next picks are very vital for being able to kind of get to that back line, especially with a Matilda on the team, who's basically just adds maneuverability to everybody else on the team with that guiding wind.
I mean, it's not only just that guiding wind that's there, right? It's also the fact that they get so much control, the ability to dive into the back line, just like what you said. And I think right now with that Sicilian that they picked up on the side of Extremely Slay, they want this game to go as late as possible. But I don't think Birthright want that to happen. I think yesterday in the interview, Extremely Slay's Mr. Death himself said that if you always keep picking the Sicilian, we're not waiting for 30 minutes to get this fight started. And you can see, I think this time they want to get that 30-minute game. But however, looking at the next bans, the Suyo and the Wanwan being taken away, along with that Ling.
Yeah, I feel like they're trying to cook something up here, and Extremely Slay kind of seemed that Birthright went pretty hard in the jungle last time, and I think that really caught them off guard, because yesterday it felt like the jungle was lacking a little bit from the side of Birthright. So seeing them kind of go hard into that first game, I think might have just like made them shiver a little bit. They're like, ooh, did some things change a little bit differently? Like you guys were saying, they're kind of warmed up at this point. You know, they just went 3 rounds and now they got to do at least 4 more ish. So we'll have to see. I think that warmed upness is kind of what's coming into play for Birthright.
Yeah, it's going to be rough. Matilda, you're exactly right. She's got that early game. She's going to be able to get to that back line, which means that you're going to have some limited options. You're definitely not going to be able to kind of just run in there with Sicilian in the first 5 minutes and just expect him to just start swinging. So it's going to take some time here for these guys to kind of come online. You've got the Hylos. Well, I talked about this earlier. You got the Hylos. You've got the Alpha that can really do a great job. It's, for me, if you're going to be successful here, Extremely Slay is going to need to be the one that is first to these objectives. They're going to need to get the positioning first. You're going to need to force the Aurora, force the Matilda to come to you instead of trying to answer them. Because if you try to answer them, you're gonna be stepping onto a frigid glacier instead of trying to get them out of their comfort zones.
Yeah, and I think that is the key point, right? You want to take control of these neutral objectives, but then again, that's about taking the early game advantage, taking that river control in that roam position. Right now, they haven't still slotted their roam, but oh my goodness, they go for the Bane in the jungle. I think this is good to counter engage what you just said, trying to take advantage of those neutral objectives with that deadly catch, but also this Irithel hasn't performed so well thus far, but I think it might be the mobility that they're looking for in terms of getting away from the Alpha.
Got something to say there, Private? Look like you I'm just a fan of Bane. You know, you already know he's one of my mains. I was world ranked on him at one point. I love seeing him in pro play here. And yeah, that's exactly right. And that is a great answer. It's just not something I thought I would see because, you know, you've got a meta, but this just shows the outside of the box thinking that Birthright has right now when it comes to something that they can counter into. And that's going to be answered with a Kaja. Very interesting.
Yeah, like is that gonna be the make it or break it for Extremely Slay? Like, what are they gonna attempt to try to pull with this Kaja here, Kronos?
Yeah, I don't understand the Kaja, to be honest. I feel the same. I feel like I'm in the same plate as you guys, same boat as you guys, because you want to see the Kaja pull someone away, but there's not enough burst damage apart from the Alpha in the mid game to actually burst them down, and I think that's what you want. Usually you see a Kaja or a Beatrix, maybe Kaja or a carry, or maybe Kaja of Vexana, but these are late game heroes that really need that early game leash, and space needs to be created by this Kaja, and I don't feel like that's the pick, but still, looking at the way Extremely Slay have gone so far in the tournament, this might be their game.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll see. This could be the make it or break it though for them, because like, what if they're playing too weird? You know?
what in the world?
I just feel like a Kaja here. I don't know where it's. I feel like it's just you're building a comp that's like diving too heavy. But I mean, maybe that's really what they want to do. Maybe they just want to go in, but they're going to be facing a wave of sharks. They're going to be facing a Gotha just that storm in the backlines, and then you got the Aurora, and then like if anything ever happens, guess what? Matilda's there. Matilda Airlines out.
Yeah, and that's the interesting thing here is Kaja has a big list of things that need to go correct for him to be successful. And like he said, there's not a big amount of damage, but we're going to go ahead and start this second match.
Yeah, we're going to be getting into game 2 here of the MESL, Extremely Slay versus Birthright. Who's going to win it this time? Currently, Birthright is on the rise. Can they keep this stride going, though, Kronos?
Yeah, and I think you can see Mark already getting poked out, and this is where you want to see the early control in the river, but he gets frozen. First blood, Bubble gets taken down, and they get the party started already. Going to brawl in the mid lane, taking 1-for-1, and I think Bubble for Mark, a better trade for the side of Birthright, and you can see Hoshik just being annoying already, slopping Levi from actually far enough, but oh my goodness, he's sustaining quite a lot with the Revitalize, and Kingsta getting the poke on towards Levi at the same time, Private.
Oh, yeah, there was an interesting flicker there, and Levi goes down. They don't. Again, what laning phase? These guys just want to go ahead and to fight. They have a bone to pick. Maybe it's because of us with our predictions. We kind of leaned a little heavily on Extremely Slay, and Birthright's like, nah, we're going to show these guys right now. But back and forth right now, 1-1, or actually, that should be 1-1 apiece right now.
Oh, Kingsta.
Oh. Yeah, you can see right now he's trying to go in. He actually wants to get this fight going on quite early, but he gets the regen, but he gets Mike caught out. And yes, he does. My Lobby gets taken down. And I think it comes back to the fact that you got to suppress My Lobby in the early phase of the game, G.
Yeah, I mean, My Lobby is definitely roaming and just kind of keeping them at bay, but another engage.
Oh my goodness, Glorious Pathway, AOG, Deadly Catch, all being used at the same time. And you can see right now with the Frigid Glacier, they get him frozen. Levi will have to run away, but he gets taken down by Hoshik. This Hylos has been a menace. Circling Eagle comes in with the knockup provider onwards too, and he gets shut down finally for what seems like forever, Private.
Yeah, and man, they're just continuing on this. Mr. Death actually able to secure that purple buff. So, I mean, they lost the turtle there, but they're able to go ahead and answer very quickly back with getting the enemy purple buff.
And they're kind of sieging this gold lane already. Now, Extremely Slay's looking solid, but so is Birthright. I mean, they're both going at it non-stop here. Who do you think's going to hit a power spike first here, Private?
It's kind of hard to say. I mean, yeah, I want to say Bane is a big one. He's kind of comes in mid lane, in mid game. You're going to have a ton of damage with those passives that he does. Not just the auto attacks, but the passives that come out just do an insane amount of damage and ignore a lot of armor that comes out. And we just saw a big example of the Deadly Catch mixed with the Avatar, the Guardian, mixed with the Frigid Glacier. At what point you're basically Extremely Slay just left in a coma during these objective fights, and they go ahead, clean it up, and try to make their escape.
Oh, a little bit of something here. That is correct. And again, both teams are kind of going for the neutral objectives. The economic lead isn't like teetering too much, but engaging top.
Oh, yeah, you can see right now Deadly Catch coming on towards Wicked. He gets caught in a chain CC. He will get taken down, but here comes Hoshik with the Glorious Pathway, trying to make sure to get at least something. But Mr. Dead goes in regardless of the Frigid Glacier, but the Revitalize trying to help them survive. At the same time, for the side of Extremely Slay, they get Levi after the use of the Deadly Catch early on to get Wicked. So that is a good trade that's made, of course, just before the turtle is up. Extremely Slay get control of this neutral objective.
Look at the top, though.
And what another engagement up at top. But man, they're doing this. And this is kind of the problem. This is what needs to happen for Extremely Slay. These crazy engagements happening, but they're starting to secure objectives. They're starting to kind of put damage onto these towers. They're doing more than just brawling here. As Mr. Death goes in.
Yeah, Urek just gets taken down, gets steamrolled completely, and I think Kingsta was just on top of him the entire time. Meanwhile, My Lobby trying to create some space, but at the same time, G, I just feel like they know their targets. They know who they want to take down early on in the game.
I gotta say, like, Kingston must have like a secret Kaja pick. This is the first time we've ever seen it, and he is just picking people.
Yeah, you can see it. Oh, but the guiding wind to make sure Danny survives. The Mark played that beautifully, but Pride of Ice has already been popped by the SOD, Private.
Yeah, and they're going to go ahead and continue here as you see the Sanguine Claws come out and the engagements continue.
Oh my goodness, AOG with everything thrown at them, and Hoshik trying to survive with the Revitalize, and there's the Glorious Pathway on towards Urek. Law and Order is there, but at the same time they take down Kingsta, and right now My Lobby trying to get the taunt on towards him, but here comes Mr. Death on towards Levi. He has the guiding wind to get away, but seems like Urek will make sure he does try and dish out some damage, but no heavy crossbow just yet, but I think Extremely Slay got what they were looking for.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely seesaw and conquer. Hoshik, though, doesn't want to let up. Extremely Slay still allowing a lot of pressure here.
Yeah.
Oh my god. No, that was nasty. That was nasty. They just overextended, and Hoshik just bit the dust, Private.
Absolutely overextended there. And this is what I was talking about. Is like the fights are fine. You were doing good. You didn't need to kind of continue on that pressure. Move along, get your jungle, maybe put some pressure onto the opposite side, but you cost yourself a death and potentially that momentum that you were earning throughout this game right now. As you can see them starting to come back in another Mr. Death in trouble, a little bit of surrounded here.
Oh, he goes with a Spear of Alpha. My lobby gets shut down, and I think that's another overextension coming in. But in the hands of Bubble, he is going to be trouble later on in the game, G.
Bubble is trouble. We'll see that as I think a conceal play was made.
Oh, yeah, in the mid lane, you can see Kingster trying to make sure he can get that. Oh, my goodness, Frigid Glacier catches two. Wicked will get taken down, and so will Mark. But the better trade being for the side of Birthright. The Wicked has not stepped up just yet, Private. It's been 2 games, and he has been suppressed really well by Birthright.
Yeah, they've really, I want to say they've really kind of focused down. They know who the problem here is. So Glorious Pathway goes out. He doesn't care about a tower.
Oh my goodness, he just wants to go ham at them, but at the same time, Mr. Death right now trying to survive. Danny being zoned out by Hoshik using the Glorious Pathway, just trying to steamroll them every single time. I don't really know what they're going to do to come back. Extremely stand Birthright just want to keep brawling, G.
Yeah, and I really right now, I think, you know, Extremely Slate has a little bit of the late game secured, and they're controlling quite a bit of this mid game. So I wonder, like, what can stop Birthright? What is their end game? And Private, I think it kind of comes down to that Bane. Once the Bane starts popping off,
yeah.
He's gonna get stuck though.
Yeah, deadly catch. Levi's not looking like he's safe, but he has the guiding wind from Mark to get out after everything was thrown out. I think, Private, that's the deadly catch. I know you were laughing,
Mr.
and so was I,
Alert.
because that deadly catch helped him survive, Private.
Yeah, deadly catch, and then Mark came in. He's like, strap in, Bubba, and you saw Levi take off with the guiding winds to get him back to safety. And I'm not sure what the score will be here, but Mark has been doing a great job of being there to help his team pull them back when these engagements go a little too far.
Yeah, it's definitely going to show Mark is kind of coming online. He's a little thick at this point, and he's able to get in and just become that life alert that Birthright needs. But my lobby still wants to show some good engage. Now, the biggest thing is that this next Lord fight is going to be pretty crazy. Everybody's going to be there, but who has more utility?
Oh no, Mr. Dead just walks into it, but he gets a 2-man Spear of Alpha, but the Glorious Path, they're running them down. He gets the kill on towards Levi. Mark has the guiding wind to make sure they can run away, but there, Danny with the Frigid Glacier on towards him. Mr. Death gets another Spear of Alpha. Mark just being the distraction, but meanwhile, my lobby going hammed at by Mr. Wicked right now. As you can see, they turn their attention in towards the neutral objective, not extending the team fight, Private.
Yeah, and it's almost like that scene from Avengers where they're like, it looks like they're lining up. And Mark, unfortunately, came in with the guiding winds and set up his team perfectly for a Spear of Alpha so that he took all of that regen, all of that damage he put onto them, and then for Extremely Slay to come in there and finish the job.
Yeah, speaking of finishing the job, they want to go at it right now in the mid lane. They get the Frigid Glacier on towards Kingston right now. Mark able to get the guiding wind to make sure they get out of harm's way. Oshik will have to get out. It's just a lot going around the map while the Lord is just marching down the bot lane, G.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are kind of just going at it at this point. Again, the kill lead or the kill scores are roughly about the same, so I feel like it's anybody's game. I think it just comes down to who can get a good pick.
Oh my goodness, right now they want to see Jin at the mid lane tier 1 turret, and you can see as they go in, Mr. Death is the one that gets it started with the Glorious Pathway. Deadly catches zone them out. Urek gets taken down by Wicked. My lobby not creating the space just yet, but at the same time with the SOD, Wicked wants to go ham, and right now the Revitalize helping him survive. Mark creating the space with the Circling Eagle. As you can see right now, the Lord still looking quite healthy, Private, and I think they might look at taking an inhibitor as well.
Yeah, and Bubble is starting to chunk right now. We finally hit that point. We're at the 10-minute mark. I'm assuming he's got like 200 or something stacks, maybe a little over that, and that's going to become a huge issue for Birthright. Not just with them on the back foot, but if Birthright manages to kind of come back, maybe even start putting some pressure, you've got the insane clear from all of those stacks on Bubble with the Sicilian. The late game really starting to pay off, and I want to say they've learned from these fights. They're not just going all in, but they're looking for the objectives objectives that they can get out of these fights too, which is apparent by the towers on the map and how successful that they've been.
Yeah, and kind of the one thing that I'm seeing from Birthright that just hasn't happened yet is that Uric hasn't been able to pop off on this Irithel just quite yet. I wish we could look at some of the items there. They're popping up already. So only having 2 items secured, one more could make a key difference in some of these team fights for Birthright. But I think they're gonna have to keep buying time until we can get to that point.
Yeah, and as we take a look there, I mean, when you're looking at both marksmen's 2K gold over right now is Wicked than Uric. So he's been having the time of his life. He's got a whole item more Demon Hunter sword right now. So he's already, even with my lobby going in, you're going to be able to kind of chunk him down. Mark's going to have to be very careful too about some of these circling eagles and who the target is, because he's going to be getting chunked down as well. Not just that, but you've got the split pressure, the split push pressure that can come out. And look at this patience. They're just like, all right, let's just take a breath and we can just go ahead and be patient and start letting Birthright come to us.
Yeah, and the Lord battle is going to be something. Are they going to attempt a back door here?
Huh?
What is going on up there?
Yeah. Are they trying to go for a river? They're trying to go for the ender, but oh my goodness, he goes in at the same time. Deadly Cat's being used. Divine Judgment came out, and he gets taken down by Bubble, who's on a killing spree. And this was the moment that we were looking for, and that's what Extremely Slay saying to each other. And right now, they get the inhibitor in the top side while Mr. Death is going ham at the Lord. So without the jungler, they will not be able to contest. But at the same time, my lobby gets him taunted. The Frigid Glacier catches Kingston, but he already did his job, and he gets taken down nonetheless. So Birthright take at least a trade for the Lord after losing Levi Private.
Hats off for whoever made that call. I mean, we were all kind of stun locked there, looking at like, what are they trying to? They got 4 over here. You've got Alpha by himself on the Lord as the entire team's going to go for him. Then the entire team notices, oh crap, we've got somebody on our side, so they go over there. They can't stop the push. They get a high ground down. Meanwhile, Alpha by himself getting this Lord like it's nothing. A great call and just a great strategy here for Extreme Slay.
Yeah, they were kind of becoming the baiters at that point, and it was crazy, and Levi just fell right for it. And but the Lord is going to be sieging here. Can Birthright stop this as the team's going in?
Oh my goodness, and at the same time, Glorious Pathway is there right now. They want to jump in. Deadly Catch coming out, but Circling Eagles there gets the 2-man knockup. But at the same time, AOG into the back line, but Hoshi gets taken out with a heavy crossbow. They get the Seeds in the mid lane. Inhibitor frozen with that Frigid Glacier. The rest of Extremely Slay, they take down Danny. Of course, at the same time, Bubble rather, but right now, Birthright actually standing strong, able to defend even a Luminous Lord Private after losing the Inhibitor in the mid lane.
Yeah, not the cleanest offense to try to go into the push for that base right there. They lost 2. They got another inhibitor down, so I guess it's kind of a success for Extremely Slay, but you can already see the momentum has shifted here. It's about a 5K gold lead here still, but I mean, now you've given your enemy confidence as we go in for another engagement.
Yeah, you can see everything thrown at them, but at the same time, Urek has the heavy crossbow. They take down Levi, AOG to the back line, but nobody is there. They take down Mr. Death, but right now, Wicked going at him. He gets a double kill. Danny, Mark, and Levi, all 3 down. Wicked wants to call the end. He wants to make it a 1-1. My lobby can't really do much. He's trying to get away. He has to taunt Urek. Make sure he gets slowed down by the Glorious Pathway, and Wicked goes straight at the base crystal, leaving it exposed. There's no way Birthright can defend, and Extremely Slay take game number 2. 1-1 is the score.
Well, we always were talking about the fact how Extremely Slay are so good at making those comebacks, and guess what? This team has shown us one more time why. It's if you high loss, you win.